Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bantamweight Boxing YouTube channel. Yes, I'm on a roll. I'm making another video. I'm a coffee deep and I thought, I've already called out Tyson Fury. What's the worst that could happen now? Let's just do a couple rants about boxing and see how it goes. Now, as you can probably see from the title of this video, I'm asking quite an interesting question. Oh God, off to a great start. Phone's about to die. As you can see from the title of this video, I'm asking the question, could female boxing be the savior of the sport? Now, I'm probably going to title this better in the video, in the description after I've phrased it a little bit better. But it's just kind of come to my mind. And the reason why I kind of got this thought or this question was I was watching the press conference of Savannah Marshall versus Clarissa Shields. And I'm looking at that fight and I'm like, that is a bloody good fight right there. And really, in terms of things on the line, you know, belts on the line, records on the line, talent-wise, it's probably one of the best fights that we've got coming up. And, you know, it won't, unfortunately, get the attention that it deserves because of the stigma around female boxing, which, thank God, is changing. But I was looking at that and I was thinking, that's actually a very good fight. And, you know, we're looking at male boxing at the moment, right? And we've just had AJ Tyson Fury fall through. There was brief talks about Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. But that's not happening, and it probably won't happen for another 5 years or 10 years or whatever, if it ever happens, right? But that's not happening anytime soon. You know, there's so many. The list goes on of these top fights that we should have seen or whatever that should have been made by now, and it really makes me think that there is an opportunity here in women's boxing to really almost save the sport, because I think boxing fans, well, I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of boxing fans now, but certainly how I feel is it's tough following the sport a lot of the time. You know, when these big fights don't happen and we're pied off with, you know, Fury Chisora, like how am I meant to get excited for that? You know, one of my favorite fighters, Tyson Fury, I want to see him fight the best. I want to see him under pressure, you know, really show his talent. But I'm not going to see that against Chisora. How can I get excited for that? And, you know, I also follow football, obviously. Obviously, I'm from the UK. And, you know, you're watching the football and you get to see United versus Man City. You get to see those big games, but you just don't get it in boxing. Now, what I respect so much about Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields is they've gone, look, people want to see this fight. They're pretty much the two biggest names in female boxing, I think I can say, or definitely up there. And they've said, look, we're the biggest fighters. We're the best in our, you know, in our divisions. Let's fight. Let's get it on. And I think if a lot of female boxers can continue to do the same, I think my eyes will, you know, I'm already watching a female boxing, but I would fully, you know, get into it if I could get to know a few more of the female boxers and really see, all right, these are the top 10 and see them fight each other, because that's what we want as boxing fans, to see the best fight the best. You know, you don't mind every now and then when someone has a gimme fight and all of that, but it feels like in boxing, there's just a bit too much of that. And I think Shields and Savannah have really kind of set the bar here of this is what we're going to go and do. We're going to be the kind of pioneers and other female boxers should follow us. And, you know, I saw in the press conference, one of their, I don't know if it's one of their trainers, but one of the trainers of the female fighters on the card was saying, look, these female fighters are carrying the torch right now. They're doing what the men won't, and they're fighting, you know, they're putting their careers on the line, their reputations on the line, to give the fans what they want to see. And I do respect it. And hopefully this starts a trend now. And I think in many ways could overtake the male sport. Because I think people are getting fed up with it. And another reason why I wanted to talk about this was because obviously I don't like to compare UFC and boxing. A lot of people do, but they're two different sports to me. I enjoy both. I'm more of a boxing fan, I'd say, but I do watch the occasional UFC fight. But in recent years, you can't help but see how MMA, well, when I say MMA, I mean UFC, have rapidly surpassed boxing. Maybe not in terms of viewership or whatever, but in terms of the setup, the fights that they make, the kind of culture around it. You know, the Joe Rogan's creating a good culture around UFC, allowing probably people who are lacked a lot of knowledge about the UFC, giving them a platform to learn about the sport and engage in it and react about it. I think they've done very well. And also, you know, you are seeing the best fights. Like in boxing, we have pound for pound lists. We have rankings of the top 10 or whatever. And let's take the heavyweight division. I'd probably say I've got, it's Tyson Fury, Usyk at number 1. But how can we even have a top 10 ranking when we've seen Usyk AJ and White Fury? You know, we haven't seen the White AJ rematch after years of them fighting. It's very difficult to gauge where all these fighters are at because, you know, there's not conclusive evidence of who is number 1. But in the UFC, you know, take for example Kamaru Usman. He obviously has just been dethroned, but for a long time he was considered the pound for pound number 1. He was the welterweight king, and no one could dispute that because any of those top 10 opponents he had fought. And then he fought what is his name, Leon Edwards, and got knocked. I'm not gonna swear, got knocked out very badly. But that created so much entertainment because that was a rocky moment for Leon Edwards. That was him landing a kick out of nowhere and becoming a UFC champ. And that's what boxing should be about. It's not, you know, I don't really care about seeing a undisputed champion who reigns for years, like a Deontay Wilder, but doesn't fight anyone. I want to see the belts go all over the place. I want to see Andy Ruiz back with a belt. You know, Derek Chisora having a belt. You know, because if the best, you know, do mix around, there's going to be those chances where people you wouldn't expect will be a world champion. But going back to my original point, is I really feel that female boxing could be catapulted in the next 5 years if they maintain this kind of mentality of fighting the best. And I hope to see it. I really hope to see it. And hopefully kind of the boxing fans' eyes will shift onto female boxing and show that the love it deserves. And it will give a kick up the arse to the males in the sport and get them fighting. But yeah, just a bit of a rant there. Let me know what your thoughts are. Will you be watching Savannah Marshall versus Clarissa Shields? Like, be honest, are you going to watch it? Are you going to give it a go? But do drop a like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. Going to put the camera down now, stop me from ranting before I call out anyone else and get myself into trouble. But thanks for listening. Have a great day and goodbye.